Welcome to the Bare Metal Cyber CCISO prepcast. This series helps you prepare for the exam with focused explanations and practical context. Understanding the format of the CCISO exam is one of the first steps toward preparing effectively. The exam consists of 150 multiple-choice questions that span the full scope of the 5 CCISO domains. These questions are designed to test both technical knowledge and executive-level decision-making. The time limit for the exam is 2.5 hours, meaning students must manage their pace to ensure full coverage within the allotted window. The passing score is set at 72%, which means that a strong grasp of both foundational concepts and strategic reasoning is required. The exam includes a mix of question types, including straightforward factual questions and more complex scenario-based ones that assess judgment and the ability to apply knowledge in real-world leadership contexts. Whether taken via the ECC exam portal or at an approved testing center, the candidate must be prepared to apply executive thinking under time constraints. Each domain in the CCISO exam is weighted differently, and understanding this distribution is essential for planning your review. Domain 1, which focuses on governance, risk, and compliance, accounts for 25% of the total score. This is the single largest portion of the exam and reflects the importance of understanding policy, oversight, and risk frameworks. Domain 2, covering security controls and audit management, represents 20%. This domain tests your ability to design, assess, and monitor control environments effectively. Domain 3, centered on security program management and operations, is also 20% and includes areas like incident response, program leadership, and reporting structures. Domain 4, core competencies, represents 15% and spans communication, legal knowledge, and ethics. Finally, Domain 5, strategic planning, finance, and vendor management, accounts for the remaining 20%, covering budgeting, procurement, and board communication. Candidates should allocate their study time according to these weightings. A domain-based review strategy helps build knowledge systematically. One effective method is to use flashcards or spreadsheets to track key terms, frameworks, and acronyms across each domain. Focus on high-impact topics such as audit cycles, budgeting principles, and risk treatment strategies. Think like a CISO throughout your study process. This means aligning security actions with business goals, considering the impact of risk acceptance, and prioritizing governance clarity. Review complex outlines and reinforce connections between domains. For example, Domain 3's incident response practices may directly impact vendor oversight topics in Domain 5. Reviewing episode scripts, outlines, and scenario walkthroughs helps reinforce domain-specific language and reasoning patterns. This repetition helps solidify your understanding and makes recall more fluid during the exam. For more cyber-related content and books, please check out cyberauthor.me. Also, there are other podcasts on cybersecurity and more at baremetalcyber.com. Practicing executive-level thinking is a critical aspect of exam preparation. The CCISO exam tests more than factual recall. It evaluates how well you can make sound decisions in ambiguous or complex scenarios. Focus on interpreting questions through a strategic lens. Think about long-term outcomes, stakeholder alignment, and enterprise-level accountability. Avoid defaulting to technical answers unless the context explicitly demands it. Often, multiple answers will appear correct, but the one that best reflects executive strategy and governance should be chosen. Use the process of elimination to discard answers that are overly tactical or irrelevant to policy-level decision-making. Practice choosing the most appropriate answer, not just the first technically accurate one. This skill can be refined through mock exams and situational drills. Time management is another essential skill on exam day. With 150 questions and a 2.5-hour time limit, the average pace should be about 1 minute per question. Plan to move quickly through questions you know and flag those you are uncertain about. Use the remaining time to revisit flagged items. Do not allow yourself to become stuck on any single question. Overthinking can lead to second-guessing your correct instinct. Be wary of absolute words such as always or never in answer choices. These are often indicators of incorrect or overly rigid thinking. Plan your pacing so you finish with at least 15 minutes left to review your responses and make final adjustments with a clear head. Understanding common question types can help you anticipate how your knowledge will be tested. Scenario-based questions are common and they may offer limited information. Focus on interpreting the situation through standard governance and policy models. Distractors, wrong answers that are technically accurate, are designed to mislead candidates who focus too narrowly on details instead of strategy. Read questions carefully, watch for subtle distinctions in language, and remember that some questions test your ability to apply judgment rather than memorize facts. It is also important to maintain balance. Spending too much time on one domain during your preparation can leave you underprepared in others. Ensure your study time reflects the exam's domain distribution. As you enter the final stages of preparation, several review activities can help reinforce your knowledge. Take practice exams or quizzes that provide explanations for each answer. This feedback loop helps you refine your understanding and adjust your thought process. Review visual tools such as mind maps, summaries, and checklists for each domain. Mock Q&A sessions with peers or mentors can reveal blind spots and clarify reasoning. Reread scripts or notes related to areas that remain complex, such as metrics, financial terminology, and regulatory nuances. For confidence building, begin your final review with weaker areas and end with your strongest domain. This leaves you with a psychological boost going into exam day. Prepare ahead in school. Logistics must be confirmed ahead of time. Make sure you know your exam date, time, and technical setup if testing online. Have your identification ready, along with any allowed materials such as scratch paper. Prepare a quiet and interruption-free testing environment. Get a full night's sleep before the exam. Mental clarity and stamina will affect your performance. Hydration and light nutrition are also important. If testing at a center, arrive early to allow time for check-in procedures. If testing remotely, log in at least 30 minutes ahead to resolve any last-minute technical issues. Have a backup plan in case of system failures or connectivity problems. Mental preparation is just as important as knowledge readiness. Trust the work you've done. The CCISO exam is designed to test your ability to apply knowledge, not to memorize obscure facts. Stay calm and remember that strategic thinking relies on clarity, not panic. If you begin to feel overwhelmed, use deep breathing techniques to regain composure. Do not cram the night before the exam. Instead, review lightly and focus on getting rest. Visualize yourself succeeding. Picture reading questions with confidence and identifying answers based on the preparation you have completed. Confidence supports executive thinking, and executive thinking is what this exam rewards. At the heart of this exam is a strategic mindset. You must think like a security executive, know the terminology, understand what scenario-based questions look like, what distractors are, and how time boxing helps manage stress. The CCISO exam blueprint is built on principles of leadership, governance, and long-range planning. Every answer should reflect policy understanding, stakeholder awareness, and risk alignment. Avoid drifting into technical explanations unless the question specifically asks for them. Stay focused on the broader objectives of the organization. Your answers must represent the voice of a CISO, not a technician, not an auditor, and not a consultant. This exam rewards those who think at scale, govern effectively, and prioritize business alignment at every turn. Thanks for joining us for this episode of the Bare Metal Cybersecurity CISO Prepcast. For more episodes, tools, and study support, visit us at baremetalcyber.com.